Says we are live. We're going to give it a couple minutes before we go outside and walk around. We don't usually plan these lives, so nobody's looking for them to come on at a certain time. But hey, it's been a while since, look at that light inside the coach. It's been a while since we've done a live, and we've made some changes around the property. So I thought we would just share it with you. We go outside here. We're going to give a few minutes, and then we'll walk around a little bit. And for those of you that pop in after the live's over, then we have a couple questions to ask of you. So if you see this, we're going to ask your opinion on a couple things. If you leave us your opinion down below in the description or down in the comment section, we would really appreciate it. We're going to ask, hang on, I apologize, but I think I have a dirty lens. Let me clean this. Hey, how's that? 2 people popped on. Welcome. Hey, I was just saying it's been a while since we've done a live, and we've made some changes to the property. I thought I'd walk around, kind of show those changes. And we have a question to ask. We are interested in your opinion. We have a little something we want to do. We've done a bunch, and we have something we might want to change a little bit. And we're on the fence of how we want to do it, or if we want to do it at all. And Diane has something she wants to do. I'm on the fence about the idea, so we thought, you know what? Let's just ask some of our viewers and see what they say about it. So, what a great day it is here. Nice and sunny, blue skies. I see 2 people have joined. I'm going to turn around and kind of walk up the end of the driveway. Then I'm going to turn around and we are going to start a little tour, see if anybody else pops in. Beautiful day, man. We've had some hot weather here this summer. It's been a stretch of, I don't know, a couple weeks of, well, like everywhere in the country, I think. It's been over 100 degrees for a couple weeks in a row. But we've had a great time. We've had friends come with their RVs. I think we've had 7 RVs on our property now. 7 RV friends brought their RVs to our property, hooked up and spent some time, whether it be, you know, one couple stayed one night, and we've had couples stay 4 and 5 nights. So it's been a lot of fun having those people here. Looks like our neighbors across the road have a tractor on their trailer. Let's go out and do some work. 2 more people. Howdy, welcome aboard. So I'm just back to the street now, and I'm going to start up here at the end of the property. Now, some of you have watched our videos on our RV property. You've seen the whole process of driveway work and tree work and painting and everything else. So for those of you that have seen it, I think there's a few things you haven't seen yet because we have not done a video for a while about the property. So tell you what, I'm up the road now. I'm going to spin you around. We're going to start walking up that way. We'll show you what we've got done. Okay, here we go. I'm going to spin you around. Here we go. All right. So for those of you that have seen our videos or seen our lives before on this is familiar to you, right? That road goes on up around, and this is the entrance to our property for us when we come in the summertime. The guest RV entrance is up there, and they come out this part of the drive. So let's head up this way. So this hasn't changed a lot right here since our last live. Really, it's pretty much the same. We haven't added any more. We're going to add more gravel. So this coming spring, where this gravel kind of jaunts in, we're going to make this straight. So that'll be a straight line up to the driveway where our guests park. So aesthetically, that'll be nice. And I think for people leaving that RV site up there coming this way, it'll be nicer for their departures as well. So now I'm going to start asking that question I want your opinion on about here, because you'll start noticing some stuff. So the last time I did a live and the last videos we did of this property, if you remember back, everything you see was a, I don't know, was it considered an army green? Maybe. MR Stories. This is our RV property we picked up last season. Then we left for the winter. We come back kind of developing it for us to call. We call this our oh crap property. So if we have something we have to come back and heal from or something like that, we can park here and hang out and get through that. And then we have a guest parking over here around the side where you see that Honda CRV. That's actually the RV site there for guests. Okay, so from here, again, most of you might remember, that sun's horrible, might remember that everything was green. Everything was green in here. So now we have painted. Now you'll see the different colors, more beige and a different color on the bottom. And what we're thinking about doing is, you notice on the casita up there, how it's two-tone, well, three-tone if you count the trim being white, where it has kind of a taupey color down below and the beige up above. Well, we painted the pump house here, and when we painted the pump house, we got looking at it going, well, it's just all beige, and it doesn't really match into that. So now we're thinking, even though it doesn't have the trim like that, we're thinking that where you see that line where the top boards overlap, I think we're thinking about painting that bottom part that taupe color. So when you look at it from the road, it looks more uniform. What do you think? You think that might be a good idea? I don't know. I think it would be. So that's that question. And then up here, I'll show you something else we've done up here. So we have added some walkways since the last video. Staying off the grid. Well, staying off the grid, if I had a moderator, they'd probably just kick you out of here. So why don't you have a good old day and just move on. You're not needed here. So we did some walkways. Got the shovel, trenched out some of the dirt, brought in some pea gravel or some gravel, and did a little walkway. All this stuff up here, you see this? This is going to, next year we're going to put some larger rock in here. And then that's our pump house, as I mentioned. We may do that bottom part, the darker taupe. Carrie, I love the colors. Yes, I do. A very good idea. Great. Okay. So what I think I'll do is, we don't get a lot of people, like I said, coming to our lives because we don't plan them. But we're going to leave this hanging on the system for a week, and then we'll go back and look what everybody has to say. So anyway, more walkway. Walkway around here kind of keeps the water. When it rains this winter, kind of keeps the water, the dirt from splashing up on the pump house. Makes a nice little flow here up to the parking areas. And then we did this over here too. So, as I mentioned down below, we were standing up there a little bit ago, that this area is our guest RV parking spot. We have power over here and water back behind the truck. We did a little cleanup over here. I think the last videos, this was a mess with some construction stuff, just a mess. So we came through, dug some of this out. We added some gravel here, some pea gravel, so when people back in, they put their steps down. They have a little bit more of a patio here. And then Diane wants to do, I think she said Vinca minor. So we will clean this up before we take off. We leave here in October. We'll clean this up. I think she wants to plant some Vinca minor in here so we can grow over the winter. So we'll see how that turns out. And then she planted a, I think she calls it a morning glory. We had it somewhere else, and the deer kept eating it. So she planted it over here, and it's been pretty safe. So we got a couple flowers on it. She's been pretty happy. Where's the wife's veggie flower garden? Well, Diana, I'll show you in a minute. Right now, this is the only thing she has. She's planted stuff out here. You can't see it probably, but out there's a bird feeder. She had some plants underneath there and some plants up over there. And the deer keep on coming through and eating everything. So we haven't done anything fenced off. We do have a cherry tomato plant that is in a pot. So anyway, there's the friend's guest patio. And how about those of you that remember this section? Do you remember that big old pole that was there? This pole went way up above this building, and the original power lines came off that power pole, wrapped into that oak tree. From that oak tree came to that pole, and that's where the weatherhead was, and it came down to the original power for the property, and that was horrible. Then it had an old sodium light on there and whatnot. So we had some friends come by. Probably 2 weeks ago now, we had 2 sets of friends come by, and they helped me out a lot. They helped me take off the sodium light. We disconnected the panel. In fact, there's a panel. There's a panel. This is all junk. Has to go to the junkyard yet. We have to haul that off. That was up on that pole. And there's the pole sitting back there. That's still a good piece of timber. I'll probably still use it, but that white one you see there, that pole was on top of that. So because we got rid of all of our power tools, all we had was an old worn out handsaw. So they pretty much did it all. I just pulled on a rope. They sawed through that timber, and I stood out there with the rope tied to it so it'd fall that direction and not hit any RVs or anything. And we fell that down, and then this is all going to be filled in with dirt, so dirt will come up pretty much to where you see that 1x band on there. And then Diane just painted that today, in fact, and hung the hose back up and stuff like that. So some changes. And flower beds, I don't know, if Diane ever does a garden, that's our leach field out there. Next spring, we can't do it now because of fire hazards, but all those steel posts are mounted into concrete. Crazy. I mean, I'm not talking about concrete, just concrete bases. There is a footing poured all the way around that, and they put the concrete in there, or put those posts in there. So next spring, when it's wet and fire danger is down, we'll go through and cut all those steel poles out and then grind down into the concrete. That's our leach field. And out beyond that leach field is where they had some grapes. The previous owners had grapes in their garden. So if she did anything, we would probably have to re-fence that over there, and she can do it there. So another thing we've done, let's see, we added a security camera up here, which is nice. We did that so when we're gone, we can keep it on the place. And we added another security camera up over here. So now we got a full view of all around the property when we're gone. Let me show you what we did inside. Again, with help from our friends that came by. Let's go inside here. This is our casita. This opens up to the patio, some of you may remember. Check it out. The last time we were in here or did a video on this place, we did not have a TV, so we installed a 65-inch LG TV, and then Diane painted her cupboards blue. She was wanting blue cupboards, so she did that. That's pretty cool. She's really happy about that. I think it looks nice, actually. And we added some blinds. I just installed the blinds today. Just cheapy blinds. We went to Lowe's and bought some of those trim to cut kind of, even though I say cheapy, but crap, nowadays, it was still $180 for those 2 stupid blinds. I mean, back in the day, you go spend $20 a piece, but anyway. So there's that. That's kind of a brief tour of some of the changes we've done. Then a couple other things. So I'm sure it's this way all around the country, but I think down in California they had all those fires a couple years ago, and it was blamed on the power company, right? They had power lines fall and burn out a town or two, and all kinds of stuff was going on. Of course, they got sued for all that, and now they're all leery of what's going on. So they've gone through this area, I'm sure other areas around the country, and they've really made some modifications so that if conditions are right or the wind picks up too much, we get power outages. I mean, all around this area, even in town. We're outside of town about 9 miles, and man, one day we had 3 power outages in one day. So I got a hold of our electrician. Now the coach isn't bad, right? Our coach has a generator, and we have 1,300 watts of solar on top. So we're fine there. As long as we keep water, we have water, and we have power, we can do whatever we want to do. But we'd like to be able to use the casita and stuff. So we reached out to our electrician that did our work here and had him give us a quote on doing a generator backup system. So, but just to do the system, the wiring and putting a port in at the back of the casita was $1,000. So that's not bad, right? And then you go buy a generator and just hook it up to that when the power goes out. And I figure a generator for that will probably cost us another $1,000-1,200. So for $2,200 or under $2,500, we can have a generator backup for that will run the well. It'll take care of all the lights in the casita. It will run the mini split, does all that stuff, but we'll be fine. So I think next year we'll do that. But before we made up our mind, we had somebody come out and give us a quote on solar, because we've had solar on our coaches for years and years, and we love solar. But holy moly, we told them what we want to do. We said, man, just take care of the pump, the well, and our casita. Don't worry about the coach. We have our own. And that started at, he said, roughly between $20,000 and $30,000. Looking good. Painting the shed will look great too. All right, Gary, another vote for painting. So you're talking, Gary, you're talking about the bottom part, right? We're talking about painting the bottom part of the shed the same color as the bottom part of the casita. Then the top part of the shed will remain that tan color. That's what you're talking about? I think so. So the solar, he said at minimum $20,000, $20,000 to $30,000 to do a solar system here. Yeah, well, for us, when we're here alone, our power bill has been, under $150. It's been $130, $120 is what we pay a month. When we have guests here, that adds a little bit to it. I think our highest bill so far has been $166. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. So to go spend $20,000 to have a backup solar plan, that's not going to work. So we've kiboshed that idea. And because we're leaving here in October, here we are August already, and so we're not going to do the power backup, the generator backup, until we come back next summer. And then another thing that we got a bid on, let me spin you around again. So we have metal roofing up here. Now, I went up there and looked at it. Doesn't look too bad, but it's not perfect. It's missing some washers. It's an exposed metal roofing. It's exposed screws and stuff, right? Anchors. And some of the rubber washers, if you're familiar with the metal roofing, they're exposed, and some of the rubber washers are old and getting crumbly. And on top of the pump house, oh my God. We bought this place, there must have been, without exaggeration, 4 inches at least of leaves and branches and whatever else. And I got up there and scraped it all off and blew it all off and everything. And holy cow, it's just all rusted. And so that needs to be replaced. And now that we put all the money into this casita, and we don't know for certain about that roof, we're thinking about having that roof taken off and putting new metal roofing. And then on our shed out back, which I didn't talk about this time, but it's back beyond the truck, I got up there and broomed all that off. That was thick with crud. So we broomed all that off and pressure washed it. And I think I'm just going to get some of that brush on roof coating for that. But the casita and the pump house, we had a roofing company come out, some guys I used to deal with years ago, in fact. They came out and gave us a couple bids on doing some roofing on there. We're kind of torn because it didn't leak last winter, but it was thick with leaves and pine needles and branches and everything else, so that may have helped it from leaking some. Our neighbor got his tractor going. And the pump house is so thick with stuff that maybe the water just never went through. So we got bids on doing 3 types: a membrane roof, which is kind of like what we have on the coach. And that was the least expensive, at a little over right at $4,000. And then they gave us a bid on a real nice hidden anchor system, lifetime warranty type deal. Top of the line. And that was only a little over $5,000. But then a similar system, what we have on here now, that is a 25-year warranty. We won't live 25 years. So that's morbid. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that probably, but it's reality. To do that was like $4,500. So we're talking about it. I think we're going to probably have them do those 2 roofs before we leave this winter. We would hate to come back next year and not do something with these roofs, well, especially the casita, and then come back and find out we had a water leakage. and all the time and effort we put into that casita get ruined. We'd feel horrible. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of what's going on around here. All right, I think we're down to 3 people, and I do appreciate you guys hanging around watching. I just wanted to give a little tour around what we had going on again. I'm just going to spin you around. You don't care to look at my face, and at least I can just spin around here. So there's our patio. Oh, Diane's getting ready to paint the front doors. She took the samples in. I would have showed you that, doggone it. We had samples up there in the doors. We're trying to match, roughly, not match 100%, the burgundy on the coach. And she wants to do the front French doors in a burgundy very similar to the coach. So that will probably be painted within the next week or 2, because at the end of the month, we have a party that's going to happen here with all the neighbors in this area. So I'm sure she's going to want to have those front doors painted. And then we got a new griddle. So underneath that cover over there, we jumped in, we got the Traeger flat rock griddle. Loving that thing. I'm going to hate to leave that here and take our little camp chef with us when we take off, hit the road again, but that's what it's going to be. But anyway, for those of you that might not have been involved in our lives before or seen any of our videos, I'll pop out here and give you a real quick look back at our patio. But our driveway circles around, for those of you that are new to the channel. It goes on around that way, so we have an easy exit. Our guests have easy entrance, and we don't know what we're going to do out there. Not going to be a yard. And there you go. That's our RV site. We have our septic over here, leach field over there, our tanks out there. That little piece stubbed up right here is actually going to be a spigot next year. I just didn't dig down and finish that this year. And then there's our patio. That's how we hang out. And there's our coach and truck and the guest parking back there. So that's what we got going on. Okay, man, I've been on here 22 minutes. I didn't mean for it to be that long. But, hey, thanks, Joy. Hey, how you doing? Glad to see you. Hope all is going well for you guys. But that's what we have going on here. That's what we've been occupied with all this summer. We haven't left the property since we got here. Thanks for the update. Have a great weekend. You too, Gary. Appreciate you stopping in. I really do. That's what we've been doing all summer. We've been hanging out, playing pickleball in the mornings, working here in the afternoons, and having a good summer. A lot of friends coming by, helping us out, visiting. It's been great. And I have a doctor's appointment at the end of September. And then once I get my clean bill of health at that point, which I fully believe I will, we're going to head to Arizona for the winter and be back here come May. And then see what happens there. All right, guys. Any questions, any comments? I do appreciate each and every one of you stopping in here and saying hello. And again, for those of you that come and watch this live later, once it's not live anymore, we'd appreciate to see your comment down here in the comment section of what you think about that pump house. If you think we should paint that bottom section that taupe color. So far, everybody's leaning that direction. And I think we're kind of leaning that direction, but we were curious what people would say. Anyway, oh, and I was thinking, how much being there? One more thing I'll say. I keep saying that. Along with doing that gray, or painting the bottom of that pump house, now we have trim boards on this, right? So you have trim on the belly band. That's an actual board. Well, we won't have a board on this. It's just, I tell you, this is built back, way back when. It's just a board overlapping. I think what we might do is just stencil out a fake board. Maybe I'll put a board on it, so we get a belly band look on that as well. So, you know, belly band, you can't really tell that's a board from here. And if we just measure and paint a strip there white, it might look just as good that way. I don't know. What do you think? Too hokey that way? Going too cheap? Man, we've been spending money in this place like we have money, and we're going broke. But what do you think? You think that'd look okay just painting it, or should we just belly up and put a board up there, do a belly band? Anyway, there's that again. All right, guys. I'm not going to type any more of your time. Staying in the RV. Thanks. Looks good. I appreciate that. We're really happy with what has turned out. We have done more this year than we thought we would. It's turned into almost exactly what we envisioned, It's going to be a great spot for us to hang out. You know, we had the medical issues. Some of you may know that, and it was pretty scary, and those things could happen again if we need to come back and heal for a while. We now have a spot to do that after 12 years on the road and not really having any place to hunker down and being at the mercy of RV parks. You know, if we said, hey, we have an emergency, then they say, you still need to go. You never know what's going to happen. But we can always get here. Somebody would, either we would get here on our own or somebody would help us get here. I know a lot of our friends would help us get here. And then once we got here, we can heal. So that's what this is all about. And this has really turned into what we hoped it would. All right, enough of that bull crap. I'm going to sign off. Nice to see this awesome setup. Thanks, Joy. You guys, you still in Florida? You guys still in Florida down there? I imagine you are. It's been so long since we've seen each other person to person. So anyway, I'm giving Joy a chance to maybe reply on that. I'm kind of curious if they're still in Florida. Anyway, okay, guys, gals. We appreciate each and every one of you who stop in and see us. And we really thank all of you that pay attention to our channel when all the new videos come up. And it's always fun seeing people that they watch it and have comments and hopefully get a little bit out of it. Yes, both me and Tom. Perfect. Be sure to tell Tom hi for us. You know, we think about you guys whenever we think about our experience back there in Florida. So we always think about you too. All right, hey, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you're having a great evening this evening. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to sign out. We'll see you all in the next video.